Hey friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and Merry Thriftmas, day number 5. I can't believe we're on day number 5 already. It's flying by. And if you're new here, my name's Jenna. I'm thrifting every single day until Christmas and I'm bringing you along with me looking for items to sell over on Poshmark. I'm a full-time reseller and just sharing my whole journey. So today's video is going to be a little bit different because I have a confession. I've already been thrifting and I didn't bring the camera with me. I'm just now starting the video, but I'm gonna do things a little different. We'll have a different format today. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the haul of what I found. I went to a smaller thrift store today and I don't go there as frequently because they don't put out new inventory as often as like Goodwill or bigger thrift stores. So I just go there every once in a while and I usually, it's either like I find nothing or I find a few items. And today I found a decent amount of stuff. I found some clothing items as well as some accessories. I love picking up unique accessories and I found some good ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the haul of what I found. So if you're just interested in the haul and what I'm buying, that'll be at first. But then I thought I would talk a little bit about comps on Poshmark and just how to look up comps of an item you find. And a lot of times I think it's good to look up comps while you're in the thrift store if you have time, just to make a good buying decision and see if it's worth your time to sell it, especially if you're new in the beginning. But sometimes I don't look up stuff until I'm listing it. I just buy based on like my experience or if I like the item. And I thought I would show you like how I look up items to price them, find the product name, the photos, things like that. I do a lot of it within the Poshmark app. So definitely stay tuned for that if you're interested. But like I said, if you're only interested in the haul, I'm going to put that first. And I do have another video on looking up comps on Poshmark that I made quite a while ago. So I'm going to put that in the description box down below. You can check it out too, but this will just be a refresher. So let's go ahead and look at what I found first. For today's haul, I have a mix of clothing as well as some accessories down here. But I'm going to start off with the clothing, and these first two items, they caught my eye in the store and I like couldn't walk away from them. They're these vintage printed ski suits and I haven't sold anything like this in a really long time. And I don't know, I was debating if I should get them or not. So I put a poll on my Instagram stories asking what you guys thought, and majority said to buy them. And this first one was the most popular. It got the highest percentage of buy votes, and it's just this really pretty floral print jacket. It's by Metropolis, and I didn't look these up while I was in the store. I just figured I'd go for it. And the jacket's actually a size 10, and then the pants that match it, they're a size 6, and that's the same for both of these sets. But I went ahead and got them just because I figured, like, you know, someone that's a 6 on the bottom can wear a 10 jacket, obviously. And then they also came with these matching gloves, which I thought was really cool, and it's in amazing condition. So I got that one. And then the second one is this bright print with the faux fur trim again. And this one I have heard of the brand. It's Obermeyer. I know that's a really popular brand. And again, the jacket's a size 10. And then the pants on this one are also a size 6. And they have this really cool lace-up details. Okay, the next item is this Patagonia sweatshirt. And it is a men's size extra, extra large. It's like a really thin crew neck sweatshirt. And it's got the logo on the front as well as on the back. Just classic. And I pretty much always pick up Patagonia in good condition because I mentioned this a couple of videos ago, but it sells really well, especially this time of year, very popular. And then the next thing is this knit tribal cape. So it's open on the sides. It's a very similar style as far as a cape to the Free People cape I picked up a couple of days ago at Goodwill, and that one sold really quickly. So I picked this one up. The brand is BB Dakota. It's just one size, and I don't always pick up that brand, but I picked this up based on style. I just thought it was really nice and warm and cozy. And then the final clothing item I picked up is this gorgeous velvet jacket, and it has this huge quilted collar. I'm pretty sure this is called a shawl collar, how it's folded over like that. And it's just a really stretchy, like open front jacket. The brand on this one is Young, Fabulous, and Broke. It is a size medium. And this brand I do pick up from time to time. I don't always pick it up, but I picked this up because velvet stuff just does really well this time of year, and I thought this was a gorgeous color. It's in great condition. Moving on to accessories, first is this beautiful leather bag, and it has this toggle closure in the front. It's a shoulder bag, so it's not quite a crossbody, but it's great quality leather. I love the color of it, this saddle tan color. So the brand actually surprised me on this one. It looks like, I don't know, Coach or Hobo or something like that, but it is actually by Zara Woman, and it is genuine leather. I know some of their bags are and some of them aren't, but it just feels like such high quality. So I need to look up comps on this brand for sure, because I don't think I've ever, maybe I've sold like a Zara evening bag, but I haven't sold a leather bag by them. And then I grabbed this little knit beanie hat because I just thought it was really fun. Again, for the holidays, I always think about seasons, even though I buy stuff when it's out of season, because you never know who's shopping for what. I tend to focus more on what's in season now because that's what people are looking for the most. And I love this huge red pom-pom. It's striped and it is by Kavu. And I picked up 2 belts. Belts are one of my favorite categories. I feel like a broken record always saying that, but you just never know who needs to hear it. And so many people have told me they've started picking up belts because of me, and I'm so happy about that. But this one caught my eye because it's leopard print, and leopard is super popular now. It's always kind of been popular, but I feel like lately I've just seen it everywhere. And it's also, it's leather, but it's calf hair. So it's got that like textured calf hair, and it looks like it's never been worn. So I would have picked this up no matter what the brand was, because again, it's just really based on the style. But this is by Kavu, which is hit or miss for me as far as the brand goes. But again, I didn't really care on this belt, and it's a size small, 100% leather. The other one I picked up is this vintage elephant chain belt, and I've sold one like this pretty recently that was silver, and this one is obviously a gold tone. And this one I think is even nicer because it has this little like fox head charm on the end of the chain, so that will dangle. And elephant stuff does pretty well for me. And then again, just belts and the vintage style, I think this will go pretty quickly for sure. And it's one size. I measure all my belts based on like where you can do it at the shortest point as well as the longest point, and put that in the description. And then I have one pair of shoes, and I have a confession. I actually didn't pick these out myself. My mom sometimes goes sourcing, like if she's out and about and she's by a store and wants to pop in, she will. So she found these black leather booties and picked them up for me to sell. And I'm pretty excited because I don't think I've ever sold this brand before, but I've definitely seen it. And you can tell, I think, by looking at them that they're super nice quality, and I really like the shape of the heel. And the brand on them, I'm not sure how exactly to pronounce it, is Naot or Naot, N-A-O-T. You can kind of see it down there at the bottom, but they're made in Israel. And a lot of times I'll walk through like big department stores or places and look at shoe brands just to see what they're carrying. And I have seen this brand at Vlogmas, and they are very expensive retail. So these are a size 39, and it says on the inside too that the 39 is a women's size 8. And again, you can just tell like based on the heels that they're in excellent condition. So I have to look up comps on these, but they do retail, I know, for like over $100, $150. So I think that was a good find by her, and I always appreciate any help I get from my family with my business. I hope you guys liked seeing my finds from today. If you did, please give them a thumbs up and let me know down in the comment section below what your favorite item was. I think my favorite item, it's either the elephant chain belt or, I don't know, I really like the ski suits, even though I've never been skiing, so I don't know if I would ever wear anything like that, but I just think they're really cool and unique. But anyways, I brought in a few of the items to look up comps together and just show you how I determine my listing price. And this is just like a reference guide, a rough guide. I'm sure there's other ways to look up comps. You can look on other selling platforms. You can do all kinds of different things. However, this is just like my process and what I do. And what I'm going to do is record my screen as I'm looking at these items, and then I'm going to put it on the screen next to me so you can see exactly how I'm searching. So hopefully that will be helpful to you, and I can figure out how to do all of that. Okay, the first item we're going to look up is the little Kavu knit beanie hat with the pom-pom. Really cute. It's got stripes. And what I typically do is open up Poshmark, and I start with Poshmark before like trying to Google or do anything like that, because sometimes I feel like people on Poshmark already do the work for you as far as finding like the item name, sometimes stock photos, use at your own risk, etc. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and type in Kavu beanie. And I'm not gonna go like super in depth. I'm very generic the first search I do, and then I kind of narrow it down from there. I just want to see like if there's anything similar listed, and there's actually not even that many listings of Kavu beanie hats. Let's go over to sold listings, and I'm just taking a look. 7, 16, 20, 22, 12, 13. I don't see any that look exactly like mine, so I'm gonna add in stripes to the description. Only one comes up, but that's not mine, but it looks like it retails for $35, or hats like this, because I can see this new with tags one has the tag. And then under sold listings, I don't see anything that's exactly the same. I see some sold for 25, 17, 10, 20. So the comps are kind of all over the place, and this item, I'm not going to spend a ton of time like looking into the exact name of it, because I think people just search for like Kavu hat or Kavu beanie hat. I don't think they need to know the style name specifically, so I'm probably just going to estimate based on like some of these sold prices that I see. It looks like they go anywhere from like, you know, very low, around 5 up to like 25, and it retails for 35. I'm probably gonna go like half off retail to start and see where it goes from there. So I'm gonna list it at 18, and I'm just gonna describe it as best as possible and not worry about looking up the exact style name, because it's not like it's a super expensive item. If this was like $100, I was listing this at like $100 or something higher, I might want to spend the extra time because it might be worth my return on my investment, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go to the next item. Okay, I actually just filmed the second item and forgot to turn on the screen recording on my phone, so duh, Jenna, get it together. I'm gonna do it again, and the item is this chain belt with the elephants on it. It's kind of twisted right now, but you just saw it in the haul, and I have sold one like this recently that I found that was silver, and I think that one sold around like $25 if I remember correctly, but this one I think is a little bit nicer actually. So I'm gonna search on here for vintage elephant, if I can spell, chain belt, and see what comes up. And I didn't put in gold or anything like that. I just want to see what's listed. There's actually not too many listed. I do see some gold ones. This one looks very similar to mine. However, it has some other animals on it. Wow, this one's listed at 67, but it says it's an Anne Klein. Mine doesn't have a brand on it, so I don't think it would go for that much. I do see, oh, this one looks, again, very similar to mine, and that one's listed at 30, but let's go see what is sold. So comps are actually like the sold listings, but I personally like to see what's available, because if there are not a lot available, sometimes you can charge higher than comps. Like if there's none available and you have the one that's listed, it's going to be more desirable than if there are, you know, 20 listed of the same thing. Then the comps are probably going to be, or you're going to probably price on the lower end of comps just because there's a lot of competition and you want to sell. So since there are not that many listed, let's look at the sold listings, and we can probably price like competitively, but maybe a little bit higher. And I actually see my sold listing as one of the top ones, and let's see here. This is my silver one. I sold it for $28. Okay, and that was in great condition, but again, this one I think is a little nicer. Here's one that's similar. It sold for 10, 11, 25. That one sold for a little more. So kind of a random assortment of prices, but like I said, the ones listed now are listed at 30. So I think I'm going to price mine just a little bit higher, because again, I think it's nicer than the one I sold before. It's in amazing condition, and we'll just see what kind of offers we get. And I'm going to list mine at $35 and start there just based on the other ones. So even though it wasn't a brand, I just looked up in general the item, the style of it, and then found something similar and based it on that. So the next item is this Patagonia men's shirt. It's got the logo on the front and on the back, and with Patagonia, as well as some other brands like J. Crew, Madewell, anything that has the style number inside the tag that's super easy to look up. I usually look those up on Google first and find the name before I search on Poshmark, especially because if I search like Patagonia long sleeve, I might get a lot of results, and even though I could search through them, this is just faster. So let me show you where the style number is on a Patagonia item. It's on the care tag. So if you can see down here, there is a number in the middle that says style number, and it's the first, I think it's 5 numbers on here. So what I'm gonna do is go to Google. Let me start recording my screen first so we actually get what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm gonna open up Google first. Oh, look, I have Google right there. And I'm gonna type in Patagonia, and then I'm gonna type in the style number, which is 39485. And then up is gonna come the name of the item. I see it right here. It's the Patagonia P6 logo lightweight crew sweatshirt, and it looks like it retailed for $49, but now I have the name of it. So I'm gonna go to Poshmark, and I'm gonna open it and say in the search Patagonia, and it is the P6 logo crew sweatshirt. And okay, looks like there's only one listed, and it's listed new at tags for $45, so that's a good sign. And then sold, okay, there's quite a few that have sold. 28, 30, 25, 21, 27, 30. Sorry, I'm just like obviously reading these out loud and doing the calculations in my head. So a lot of these look like mine, and yeah, there's not a lot listed. So since it retailed for $50 and I want to start it a little bit higher than some of the sold listings, I'm probably going to start this at $35 and see where it goes from there. If it was new, obviously I would list it higher, but since it's pre-owned, retailed for $50, I'm going to go with $35. So that's like my reasoning behind that. The next item I'm going to look up are these boots that my mom actually found, and they are just nice black leather boots in the brand Akin. Of course, I picked the one that I can't pronounce. It's Naot or Naot. I need to look that up for sure. But in here, I'm looking to see if there's anything with any kind of number on it that I might be able to look up. But it doesn't appear that there are style numbers in these boots. I just see where it says the size, made in Israel. So what I'm gonna do is open up Poshmark, and I'm gonna type in the brand leather boots, and I want to see what comes up. Mine are black, so I'm gonna go ahead and filter the color to black. Oh, and the other thing I do need to note, I mentioned this in that older video I made about looking up comps, but if you have a size profile set up, automatically right here where it says size, my size is going to be selected. What I've done is I've deleted all sizes from my profile, so I don't have any specific ones selected. So every time I search, all the sizes come up, but if your size is selected, you need to click that filter and uncheck right here where it says my size. See how mine says incomplete? That's because I don't have any of my sizes set. But anyways, I've digressed. So let's go to sold listings and start there, because wow, there's a lot of black Naot leather boots. Okay, these look kind of similar, but not really. Like this one looks kind of like mine. That one sold for $45. They said it retailed for $200. You have to take that with a grain of salt, because a lot of people estimate their prices as far as what the retail was on an item. I'm gonna keep scrolling. Some of these are taller. I probably could have put booty. Like these are cool. These are a little nicer than mine, but those sold for $75. This is very similar to mine, and that one sold for $75. Those are new in box. So they are pretty pricey as far as things go, and oh, those are mine. I didn't plan this. Okay, so these are the exact ones I have, and sometimes this is good because they have the name of the style. This one doesn't have the name of the style, but I see that it did sell for $50. They put the retail was $215. So I have a comp of 50 on mine. And that looks pretty good. It seems pretty reasonable. I see these other ones for like 40, like this one again, similar, 39. So what I'm gonna do is not spend a lot of time looking for the exact style name. I'm just gonna go ahead and list these, and I'm gonna start them a little higher than the sold listing just to make room for offers. And you know, again, I think they're in great condition. So I'm gonna list these at $60, and I'll put the estimated retail of around $200 just because that seems to be pretty typical to similar looking boots on Posh. So that's how I came up with the price for this one. And then I have one more item to show you. The last item we're gonna look up comps on is this beautiful blue jacket. Absolutely love the color. The brand on this one again is Young, Fabulous, and Broke, and it's a size medium. So size, honestly, I don't take it into as much consideration when I'm looking up comps unless there are a lot listed, and I want to see if there's a lot listed in my size, again, for competition reasons. So let's go to our search, and we're gonna look up Young, Fabulous, Broke. I'm gonna type in velvet jacket. I'm not gonna get too specific. Oh, that was so easy. I can already see the exact jacket that I have listed. I was even gonna filter by color. I don't really necessarily need to, but I'm going to because it just makes life easier. So right here, there are 3 available. The first one's actually the same size as mine, medium, and it's new with tags, and that one's listed for $85, and then it looks like it retailed for $200. The other ones listed are extra small and small, and I'm going to go to sold listings. One sold for $24, a new one sold for $60, one sold for $18. I'm kind of curious. Sometimes I click on the low ones to see why they sold for so low, like if there's flaws or, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any flaws, but sometimes people are just selling their stuff for personal use, and I feel like they just want to get rid of it and they sell it pretty cheap. Because if I look at the other ones, 42, 85, 30, 32, 27, 48. Okay, it's kind of like all over the place. So I'm gonna base this on a combination of what's available and what has sold. So I'm looking at a medium here that sold for 42, and that medium sold for 30. And then available, that new with tags one is 85. I'm gonna list mine at 50 to start. It is a really nice jacket. So it's definitely above like that 42, that 30 that sold. But the other ones listed are again 57, 67. So I'm gonna price at 50. That I think is pretty reasonable, maybe leaves a little room for offers, and that is how I make my decisions. So again, looking up comps can be really helpful when you are in the store sourcing, especially when you're newer. Don't get me wrong, I look up comps a lot in stores as well, especially if it's a brand I'm not familiar with or if it's something I have never sold before, but it just really depends on the item and also how much time I have in the thrift store. But I think it's a great, you know, way to practice and get really good at figuring out what works for you as far as what you're buying and if the margins are worth it, because everyone's thrift store prices are different. I know I don't share the cost of my items a lot because I don't want that to dissuade you from buying an item. I think for this, it's more important to look up or find out how much the item is selling for and then see how much you're gonna pay for the item and figure out if the profit margin is gonna be worth it for you. So I feel like this video kind of got a little more in depth than I thought it would, but hopefully this was helpful to see versus just going thrifting. And like I said, I want to mix up my content some. You guys gave me some really good ideas too on Instagram about different like thrift challenges, so I want to do some of those too and have different challenges when I go to the thrift store. But I know tomorrow I'm going to go thrifting and I'm going to bring you guys along. I think I'm going to go to an estate sale this weekend, so we'll see where it goes, but definitely hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed and the little bell notification so you can get notified every time I post a video. And again, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if you liked the hauls, and I will see you in tomorrow's video for day number 6. Bye guys.